In origami, most every piece of origami that you'll fold is made from a square, so you need to first know how to make a square. You take the bottom edge, put it over to the side. That is dividing this corner in half. Now right along here, we're going to fold the paper behind. If I were to fold it over, you can't see where the edge is that I need to line it up with. So I'll line that up along there, along that edge, and then I'll crease it. Oh, to the middle to the outside. That makes a perfect crease, and that way it doesn't like go sideways on you like that too much. All right, now I'm going to lick this crease. You won't cut your tongue because it's a crease. You would cut your tongue if you were to lick this sharp edge. Okay, now I've licked that. That moistens the paper enough so that it will tear very easily apart. Now I already have a die right here, which is called the diaper base. Every origami piece is folded from a base. Now we're going to open it up, look at the valley. That means that the crease is denting in. On the other side of the piece of paper is where the crease dents out. So that's the mountain crease. This is the valley crease. We're going to look at the valley and fold it corner to corner this way. Putting the line on top of the line, you line up the points, pull down to the center and pinch. You can let go of the top, pull out, pinch. That's how you will make a perfect square every time. Now we look at the mountains by turning the piece of paper over. Have a hold of this crease, see how the middles mush out? And I will take one edge that mushed out to the side and this edge over to the other side. Now see, this point's trying not to go properly. So I'm going to pinch my little fingers right in there to make that point go perfect. Now those are lined up. See how I just made a square from a bit of paper. But I'm going to squash now. A squash means you're making two creases at the same time, and the crease that I'm creasing right now is these two bubbled edges right here in the center. I'm going to smush down. You can feel it smushing under. Now I need this straight line. That made a straight line right down the center right here. I need that straight line down this center and this center, and here's how you find it. Set the pyramid like that, and then just measure up these edges to the other sides. This is called the axis. I've just made my axis. I'm creasing these creases again. And now if I look through the pages, these are called pages, I have a center line down each page. See? Now, this can get all confusing. You can get 3 on one side or 1 on the other, where you want 2 on one side and 2 on the other. I'm going to show you the fast way that is not in any book out there that I know of. This is the fastest way to fold the crane of peace. We're going to take this bottom edge and pull it up to the side and crease right to the center line, that little axis line. Now let go. Take this bottom edge and pull it over to this crease. Creasing that. Now let it go. Now when I pull this bottom edge and this bottom edge together and then pull this up to the top, I've just made the Waterbomb base into rabbit ear. Okay, now what I have to do is just find this bottom piece of paper and pull that out. Pinch that back together. This is kind of like an alligator. I want this right along those edges where that crease was going one direction. I'm going to make it go this direction so that it dents in. Now see, I've met the alligator, and that piece of paper goes in, this goes in. Whoa, there's more pages that can go in. That's a mountain, this is a valley. We need to make it a mountain. Okay. Now find that one last piece. Okay, that's a mountain. This is a valley. It needs to be a mountain. So basically what I've done to this piece of paper is make mountain, 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 mountain. And then when I push these in, you pinch across the mountain. I call this crossing the mountain. With these pages up inside there, like that, and cross the mountain. Now we're ready to collapse into the bird base. Just like I did on the Waterbomb base, that first one, now this can collapse again. See how that just collapses? And again, we have 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, you have the bird base. We're gonna lift this up, turn it over, lift this up. Now, nobody else calls it this, but I call this the walking man. And that way you know which part that you need to put together to make it the crane of peace. We're gonna make the pant legs skinny. If I make the head skinny, it won't work out right. That's a flower. This is the crane of peace. We're gonna make his pant legs skinny, like 1. Pull that edge over to the center. Not over the center, we're just right up to the edge. In origami, you go right up to the edge. Now turn it over. Do the same thing. Usually if you do it on one side, you do it on the other. See, I made the pant leg skinny. Now, we're gonna do a little flip action here that's gonna open this up right here. We're gonna make this pull up his leg, putting the flat against the flat. See how I opened that up? There's the legs, right? Push that open, flat, pull up, put the flat to the flat. Now pinch that back together. The creases are already there. You didn't do anything new except make that little line right there by pulling that up and then pinching that back together. Now there's a certain way that you can make it even. This is some people's even. This, to this little point right there, is another even, and that's what most people do it. Sometimes they do it up to here. I do it right in the middle. Now let's do this side. Pull that leg up, flat to flat, push that back together. See how far up inside that is? Now we need to pull that little point down until we have our point of even. You get to choose your own even. It can be right there, right there. I'm going to do right in the middle. Now let's make the head of the crane. There's always going to be one side that's really pretty and pointy, and one side, I don't care how many times you've done it, it's going to be a little bit awkward or bigger or thicker. This will be the head, the one that's not pointy and pretty. How you'll do this is we're going to open that up, pull it down like flat to flat. That just bent down inside. This crease just became from a mountain. When I pull it down, it dents in now like a valley. And now I make the head by pinching that 2 pieces together. Now make the little beak a little bit pointy and pretty. And you're done. Now we're ready to open up the crane of peace. Put your fingers down in there. These are the little places you put your fingers. And that's going to stretch open. Tries to rip. Okay, don't let it rip. Let's do this. Good, even and right along there. And even right along there. See how I make that? Okay. When that paper's even too along that 2 edges of the wing, now it'll stretch open real pretty. That is the crane of peace.